Chapter 1, Food Choices and Human Health. Nutrition. What really is nutrition, and why should we be studying it? Think about nutrition and really what it means to you. As a science, it's the study of nutrients in foods and how they affect our body's health. One might study nutrition to improve their own health, maybe to lose weight, or to improve the health of others if you consider working in the field of nutrition, maybe to better understand what's happening in the media. What are some of your reasons for studying nutrition? Certainly health is one of the primary reasons for studying nutrition. When we think about the leading causes of death in the United States, we can also consider how these leading causes of death are related to nutrition and lifestyle choices. What is the leading cause of death in the United States? Well, at the top of the list we see cancer and heart disease. Heart disease number 1, just slightly leading cancer. Both of these two accounting for almost about 46% of all deaths in the United States. Others that are health, diet, and lifestyle related are strokes, diabetes, and somewhat accidents when we consider substance abuse and driving accidents. Health conditions, however, are not really just lifestyle related or genetic. They usually fall somewhere on the spectrum. Some health conditions that are purely genetic would be something that's either congenital or passed down during pregnancy. Sickle cell anemia, again, these are purely genetic diseases. And some conditions or health issues can be purely lifestyle and dietary related. For example, iron deficiency anemia, vitamin deficiencies, and such. However, as you can see, most of the health conditions which afflict Americans and the leading causes of death are a combination of lifestyle and genetics. Other lifestyle choices which may affect our health include tobacco and alcohol use, substance abuse, of course physical activity or physical inactivity, sleep, which has really become a talking point in the United States as Americans seem to get less and less sleep, emotional stress, environmental factors, and others. Healthy People 2020 is a set of goals that Americans are striving towards, that the federal government sets for us to work towards. These include issues regarding chronic diseases, food safety, maternal, infant, and child health, of course, eating disorders, physical activity and weight control, food security, which we'll be talking about quite a bit at the end of the semester here. Nutrition, though, is really about the nutrients, as I mentioned earlier. Nutrients, what are they? What do they do in the body? Well, nutrients are basically components of foods. They are chemicals found in foods which serve to provide the body with energy, building materials, used as raw material to produce substances such as enzymes, hormones, help maintain or repair body parts, and support growth. There are 6 classes of nutrients. We have the carbohydrates, fats or lipids, proteins, vitamins, minerals, and water. We will spend quite a bit of time discussing each of these classes of nutrients throughout the semester. You can see that 4 of the 6 are considered organic because they contain carbon. Most of the nutrients contain oxygen and hydrogen as well, with the exception of minerals. Carbohydrates provide the body with 4 calories per gram, lipids with 9 calories per gram, and protein 4 calories per gram. Alcohol, not a nutrient, does contribute 7 calories per gram towards our energy intake. When you think of foods that we eat on a daily basis, try to consider them either whole or processed foods. As you consider these foods, what are some examples of whole foods? These would be foods that have not been processed: fruits, vegetables, whole grains, fresh meats, nuts and seeds, as well as some dairy products. Everything else would be foods that are processed. Throughout the semester, we'll be talking quite a bit, of course, about what a healthy diet looks like. This graphic shows you a description of some of the words that we can use to specify what a healthy diet looks like. Variety at the top of the stack here. We want to make sure that we're consuming a variety of foods, especially when we're discussing, when we're discussing fruits, vegetables, meats, and grains. Moderation. Moderation really means consuming foods within moderation, in the sense that not too much of one food or group of foods, and also the foods that are high in maybe sugar or fat, consuming these in smaller quantities and in variable frequencies. Calorie control. I like to call that portion control, honestly. Calorie control, certainly making sure we're not consuming too many calories so that we can balance weight with physical activity, but also making sure that we're consuming the right source of calories and controlling the portion sizes. Balance, really consuming foods from each food group on a regular basis. And adequacy, getting enough, whether it be enough specific nutrients or groups of foods in general. Nutrient density. This is a very important concept. When we think of our foods, such as fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean meats, these are foods that are dense in nutrients. They contain nutrients that the body needs without providing a lot of extras, such as added fat or sugar. So in essence, more nutrients for less calories. More bang for your buck. Which food is more nutrient dense? Ice cream or whole milk? Well, the whole milk would be, of course, it has less calories, less added sugar. Chicken breast or fried chicken leg? They might contain the same amount of protein, but the fried chicken leg is going to provide us with more fat and calories, so the chicken breast is more nutrient dense. A donut or whole grain cereal? Well, the whole grain cereal likely is more nutrient dense. We do need to make sure we look at the sugar on the label. You can watch this video, What Does 200 Calories Look Like, when you go back through these slides on your own that are posted in the module, in the weekly module. And this is a good indication of basically what nutrient density refers to. You see that each breakfast shows 500 calories total. However, the breakfast on your left provides the person with more calcium, iron, vitamin A, and of course quite a bit of vitamin C from the fruit. Whereas the breakfast on the right, still 500 calories, but all you're getting really is empty calories. Why do we make our food choices in the first place? What's the number one reason cited by Americans? Well, you guessed it, flavor or texture. We also choose our foods for various reasons, such as convenience, psychological factors and emotions, social factors, peer influences and interactions. Of course, cost is important to many of us. We might claim health is one of our primary reasons for making food choices. Hopefully, that is important to most of us. Perhaps our religious or ethical beliefs drive our food choices, and traditional and ethnic foods and traditions which drive our food choices, especially in family interactions. Advertising. Advertising is definitely one of the reasons we make our food choices. So, as I mentioned at the beginning of this lecture, nutrition is a science. It is a science of the study of nutrition and foods, and the nutrients in foods. It is a field of knowledge composed of organized facts. The science of nutrition is active and changing, and oftentimes scientific findings contradict each other. Any science, however, is based on the scientific method, so we're going to spend a few minutes reviewing what the scientific method is. Scientists begin the scientific method by asking a question. In order to answer their question, they come up with a hypothesis or an educated guess. An experiment is conducted, and we'll talk about some of those types of studies in a bit. Results and interpretations are obtained through statistical analysis, and the hypothesis is either supported or not supported. So a few definitions. Randomization. It's very important to randomly assign subjects to groups for the research to be reliable and accurate, we want to make sure that the bias of the researcher is not being inserted in the selection of subjects. A control group should be assigned. Ideally, if the experiment is controlled, we will then have more reliable results. The placebo. A placebo is given to the control group, and basically this can help reduce the bias of the subjects. If subjects know that they're not receiving the treatment, they may be more likely to insert their bias or their feelings into the results. A few more definitions. A blind experiment. Single-blinded means the subjects do not know if they are in the control or the experimental group. The double-blinded study is designed so that researchers and subjects both do not know who is in which group. This helps to reduce the bias by the researchers as well as the subjects. Here's a sample study. For example, our question is, does vitamin C prevent the common cold? Perhaps our researchers made an observation that, again, hypothetically, that people living in Florida don't suffer from the common cold very often. And the researchers asked the question, does vitamin C in the oranges that the people in Florida consume on a regular basis, again, all hypothetical, does it help to prevent the common cold? The hypothesis then is our educated guess. And the researchers believe that taking vitamin C daily will help prevent the common cold. So now we want to try to prove that. So we have assigned 200 students randomly, some to the experimental group, receiving the 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day. The other 100 would be in the control group. They are receiving a placebo, again, an inert substance. It will not cause any effect on the subjects, but they believe, or they just don't know if they're receiving vitamin C or not. So that helps to reduce the bias of the subjects. The results then show us that our experimental group suffered from 1.2 colds for the 6-month period, and our control group, oops, that's hiding, but let's say it's 1.4 colds per period. Was the hypothesis proven? We would assume no. Okay, moving along, sorting the imposters from the real nutrition experts. Just a few notes to remember that this is the controversy section actually of Chapter 1, and each chapter will contain a controversy section. We will cover some and others we will not. But this is the area where we're going to try to remember that if it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. In the field of nutrition, it is very easy to find bogus and unrealistic information, especially on the internet. We call this nutrition quackery. And quackery, is basically misinformation, either intentional or non-intentional. There are a few characteristics of quackery that I'd like you to consider. Whether the information is just too good to be true. Rapid and outrageous results are claimed. For example, lose 50 pounds in 3 weeks, or lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks even. Too outrageous. Authority is not cited. There's no scientific proof, and the claims are made without research to back up the claims. And we don't see any studies even being cited. Sometimes studies are discussed, but they're not published in peer-reviewed journals. Peer-reviewed journals are journals which are published by professional organizations which have basically a list of editors that are professionals in that field. Whether the motive is for personal or financial gain, and perhaps they're showing fake credentials, testimonials by famous people. These are all red flags for nutrition quackery. Here are a few examples. 25 pounds in only 2 weeks, or need to lose 30 pounds. And yes, amazing weight loss, incredible energy. Always be wary of very flashy wording like super pill and anything that questions traditional authorities. Here are a few credible internet sites that you can locate reliable and valid information on. Just a few points on nutrition on the net. Be careful when you are doing searches online.